Well, welcome to the Lewis Bear Jr. College of Business. Today we are honoring Dr. Shelby Solomon. Dr. Solomon has received the 2025 State of Florida Entrepreneurship Research Paper of the Year Award. Shelby, take us through how you came up with this idea.
So the idea started out, I went to LSU for my PhD. Often there would be trips to New Orleans. So me and my buddy, my cohort mate Eric Taylor, were walking around one day and looking at all of the different performers on the street and thinking like, I wonder what like the nature of competition is with these guys. Is there some sort of norms for like how you space out or anything? And then we went back to the office later on, and my advisor overhears us and says, I really think that's a good idea. I think you might want to pursue this idea a little bit further. We knew he did qualitative research, kind of like oddball stuff, so sure, yeah, let's go do it. So got IRB, got a big wad of cash out, and took it down to New Orleans, and we were going to pay these guys $10 a pop for interviews and see what we got. If it was anything interesting or not. We were expecting them to tell us this story about space and competition, and but what we start hearing is this story about traditions and how there's a tradition of doing what they're doing, and we find that they're actually very cooperative with one another, that they're welcoming to newcomers and want to show them the ropes and different things like that. And so what we found over time, if you're an independent worker, you're one of these types of people that does freelance work, you play on the street, and there's a very strong tradition there. And what would happen is you don't have employees to pass your tradition on to, your beliefs and your dreams and everything. These weren't necessarily family businesses. So who do you pass it on to? Well, your competitors. They're your only option you got. So what we found is that in trying to pass these traditions on to one another, they would govern the commons, they would work with each other, they were cooperative for the most in a lot of ways. Everyone wants to be really good at their craft, of course, but that they would cooperate and try to share ideas with one another because, you know, they're your competition, but they're also what you're relying on to carry on your tradition and the soul of your organization and sort of dream.
So you could take what you have learned from an emerging theme of your research and maybe even apply it in perhaps small business.
Sure.
How do you pass on if you've got a small group that you want to encourage healthy competition, but not competition that's destructive?
Yeah, I mean, you're a sole proprietor. You hear of a lot of people who they retire and they got to close down their business and that's the end of it. And it's not that you're able to pass your business on, you know, in the same way someone like Enzo Ferrari can keep passing it on, but you can still sort of transmit some of your values and everything on to live on in some capacities.
Qualitative research is a very long, very in-depth process if you do it right. And so many times researchers will shy away from qualitative research. It took a while for you to collect all the data and then to begin to kind of tease out of sorts the themes.
Yeah, this was the kind of paper that I was working on for so long that the joke was that like it just was a lifestyle, you know, eventually. Like it's not even just a paper. I started it back in my PhD program. So, I mean, it was going on for maybe 10 years or so. But I think some of the findings and the emergent sort of stories that you're able to tell translate pretty well to a lot of different circles. You know, you can often tell people these stories, or you have these quotes and things that you can share with individuals that it's just vibrant enough that can catch on and get some traction in some ways that I particularly like, at least.
So that's a lot of detailed, long, hard work. Research is not easy when you do it right. Thank you for sharing your research with us. And congratulations on your very stellar research and very well appreciated research. So thank you.